Hey everyone, welcome back to Portal of Wisdom. I am back today with another story for you. So if you are new to the channel, like and subscribe and click that little post notification bell so you get alerted when I post new videos. And now on to today's topic. So you know how when we were growing up and you would hear about counterfeit money and how counterfeit money was worthless and you didn't want to take counterfeit money and all that kind of stuff. So we are going to talk about a Wild West counterfeit money situation where the counterfeits are actually worth a fortune today. So anyhow, this story starts in 1891 in Victor, Colorado. So Victor, Colorado was a busy, bustling mining town, and it was situated about 12 miles south of Pikes Peak in the Colorado Rocky Mountains. And the gold and silver mines there, they were producing a lot of precious metals, and prospectors and businessmen fled to the area, and it was a booming mining town. So the town was named for the rich producing Victor mine on the mountainside. And it was said that it seemed like gold and silver was in every stream and around every corner. So the bulk of the gold and silver, though, was shipped back east, especially to the Philadelphia Mint for minting coinage. So even though Victor was producing lots of gold and silver, and it was a very rich town, there was a shortage of real money and coinage in the area. So people were bartering and using gold nuggets and silver and stuff like that to barter for goods and supplies and groceries and things like that. But this presented an inconvenient problem for some people. So it would take weeks or even months for coins to arrive and money to arrive from the mint. And that created a lot of problems within the town, and especially caused a problem when a new town popped up just a couple miles away, I believe, with more mines and everything. And this town was Cripple Creek, Colorado. So the demand for coins and money increased exponentially, and there were just too many people in the valley and not enough real money around to buy goods with. So many of the growing Colorado population around this time were pushing for a federal mint in Denver to be established. And we know it eventually was, but it wasn't yet at this point. So it just couldn't happen quick enough for the townspeople and the people in the area, because they're fairly remote up in the mountains there. So in 1900, a Victor businessman named Joseph Lesher, he attempted to solve the problem once and for all. And he was an upstanding citizen of Victor, and he decided to produce high-grade silver coins himself. And he figured he would do this to distribute among the community. And these dollars were called, or their coins, they were called Lesher referendum dollars, and they were meant to be used in Victor and Cripple Creek and some of the surrounding towns. And it was said he minted 5 different denominations of coins in 1900 and 1901. So the coins were numbered, and the businesses that purchased them had their names stamped onto them. And some Victor businessmen and merchants, though, of course, refused to take these since they figured they were not minted by the federal government, and they were worried they could be breaking the law by accepting them. But one businessman, his name was Zach Hutton, he didn't understand that the coins were not minted by the government, and he didn't realize they were intended to be temporary and provide silver in exchange for goods, and it was said he was also a bit of a hoarder or a miser, and he collected as many of these Lesher dollars as he could. And he had the idea that since there was a huge coin shortage, that they may just gain a lot of value. And he eventually filled 2 coffee cans with these octagon shaped coins by the end of 1901. And he became worried that someone may try to steal his cache of silver coins. And at this point, they numbered now in the hundreds or maybe more, and he had them hidden somewhere on his property. But of course, as happens in a lot of these stories, the next year, in 1902, Hutton got pneumonia, and he hung on for a few weeks, but he eventually died. So, with no more Mr. Hutton around, after his death, it was said that his house and his businesses were broken into, and the walls were torn down, and the floorboards were pried up, and thieves were looking for his cache of silver coins, but they never found them. And no one knows really where he hid his collection of Lesher dollars, but it was assumed he must have buried them on one of his properties or hidden them away pretty well somewhere. So today, Lesher dollars are highly sought after by serious coin collectors due to their historical significance, their silver content, and their rarity. And they can fetch between $600 and $6,000 each or more depending on their denomination and condition. Now it's believed that Zach Hutton's cash, Lesher dollars, whatever that he had saved, it's believed they were all in pretty much mint condition since he would put them away once he received them, and his dollars did not circulate around like others. And it's said that the 1901 coins with the business name stamped on them are worth closer to the $6,000 range or more. So Zach Hutton's collection of likely mint condition coins is estimated to be worth anywhere between $150,000 for sure, and it's said most likely closer to $1.2 million. So it seems his collection could still be out there, as there haven't been any that have been found. And if someone had already found them, the collectors basically have said you would expect to see them being flooded on the market. And it sounds like there's still a very rare, scarce amount of them. If someone found his hundreds or thousands of these Lesher referendum dollars, that there would be probably a good chunk of them that would appear in the markets and coin auctions and things like that, and that has not happened. So anyhow, it's believed that they're still buried out there on one of his properties. I don't know how many properties he owned, but he had businesses and he had a home in the area. But Cripple Creek and Victor, Colorado are still up in the mountains. Now they're more of touristy gambling towns, and they've restored, a lot of, when you go through those areas, they do have buildings that look like they're from 1900. It is kind of a step back into the past when you go into these Colorado towns. I know Blackhawk is also like that too. So, there are some real cool historic mining towns that have their original charm. And Victor and Cripple Creek, they both kind of bleed into each other or blend into each other now, and they both are definitely like that. So anyhow, that is the story of Zach Hutton and his counterfeit coins that he minted out of high-grade silver that are worth significantly more than their weight in silver, and even though they're counterfeit, they are worth a lot of money. So if you like these kind of stories, like and subscribe.